Good morning, students. Let us start today's online class. Today, once more, I am taking chapter number 8, the short monsoon diary, and already we have studied this one diary, and a few parts we have taken. As earlier, I had explained and told that this lesson, or we can say here, these diaries are written by Ruskin Bond, and he had explained about the rainy season, and date wise he had written. So I am taking these page number today 116, and date is here August 31st. Date is here August 31st. Before it, we had studied about the June, July, like these were dates. But today we are going here. In month of August, what kind of rain takes place? We are talking here. At least in the end of the month of August, rain approximately comes to the end, and coming forth to the September, rain stopped raining here, means taking place. So I'm taking this one. What is here? It is the last day of August, and the lush monsoon growth has reached its peak. The seeds of the cobra lily are turning red. What is here? It is the last day of August. It was the last day of August, and on that day, the monsoon's means speed was about approximately in the top. The seeds of the cobra lily are turning red, and the seeds of cobra lily, these are also turning red. And what is here? We can say signifying that the rains are coming to an end. This is the signal for the ending of the rain. And here there is a different signals for coming the rain to an end. Just like we can say here, green grass grows, and while it starts blooming its flowers in white in color, the farmers understood that the rain is about to end. So these are the signals of nature that tells the farmers and everyone the rain is about to end. In a few days, the ferns will start turning yellow, but right now they are still firm, green and upright. Here author Ruskin Bond is telling here, as soon as the rain will end, the fern trees, means fern will start turning yellow. These will also start turning yellow, but in the same time, means on 31st of August, they were still firm, means erect, will means green and upright, means they were upright here. Ground orchids, mauve ladies slipper and the white butterfly orchids put on a fashion display on the grassy slopes of the land lower. Yes, students, I am just green and upright. Means what is here? On 31st of August, the fern was right green. Means form is same in condition, green in color and upright, straight. Ground orchids, mauve ladies slippers and the white butterfly orchids means ground orchids, the flowers which were blooming on the ground were also moving, just like what were the ground orchid, mauve lady slippers, and white fly orchids put on a fashion display on the grassy slopes of the land over. Means the grassy land of the mountains and hills were covered with these flowers, and it was looking very beautiful. Wild dahlias, red, yellow, and magenta, reared their heads from the rocky crevices. Means there were the cracks or narrow openings or cracks in the rocks. Means what is wild dahlia, red, yellow, and magenta? They were also rearing, means coming out or raising its head from the rocks or narrow space of the rocks where they have taken hold. Already they were inside of the cracks, but now they are coming out from this narrow space. Snakes and rodents flooded out of their holes and burrows, take shelter in roofs, attics, and godowns. This is the reason here in the rainy season, while heavy rain takes place, flood comes, the holes of the rodents and snakes fulfilled. And after that, from the burrows, these come out and they take the shelter in the roofs, attics, and godowns of the houses. A shrew, weak of eyesight, blunders about the rooms, and they search the places where there is a special means equivalent in the next sentence. What is here? We can say find. Means these we find out in the where in the weak of eyesight. Misrew, weak of eyesight, blunders about the rooms, and they take or cover the area of the land where are the rooms where there is less light or nobody goes there, much to the amusement of the children, and some insects come out which are much more the entertainment of amusement of the children. Don't kill it, admonishes their grandmother. Means grand chachundars are lucky, they bring money. Means here author is telling here, always author listen this one, that the grandmother always used to tell that they had not to kill the chachundars because chachundars are lucky, and in which the house the chachundar comes, that they bring money. And sure enough, I received a check in the mail, and it was sure that he had received a check in the mail, not a very large one, but welcome all the shame. But it was that check was not a very large amount, but it was also the proof that money had come to his house. Number October 3rd I am taking here, diary October 3rd. We have gone straight from monsoon into winter rain, snow at a higher altitude. Students, in the mountains and hills, especially in the Himalaya mountains, winter rain also takes place, and snow falling also takes place. Why? Because of the high altitude. Altitude means height. After an evening hailstorm, the sky and hills are suffused with a beautiful golden light. Means what is here? After an evening hailstorms. Means hailstorms comes, the sky and hills are suffused. Sky and hills are filled with what is beautiful golden light. Means during the evening times. Also during the evening times, a golden light also spread in the sky and hills, but after the hailstorm it also clearly appeared on the hills and mountains. Students, on January 26th, author is going to explain this one. Winter rains in the hills. And winter rains also takes place in the hills. What is here? In the hushed silence of the house, when I am quite alone and my friend who was here has gone, it is very lonely, very quiet as I sit in a liquid silence or silence within. What is telling here? Narrator is telling that in the hushed silence of the house, hushed silence means complete silence in the house. When I am quite alone and my friend, and when the author was quite alone in the house and his other members of the house has gone, it is very lonely, very quiet. Means author experienced here very lonely and very quiet as he sat in a liquid silence, a silence within. Means where liquid silence means having no motion, no noise while the liquid move from one place to another. Just like we spill the water on the floor, it did not make any kind of noise. It moves very silently. The author was also sitting at home very silently because nobody was except him, and he was surrounded by the rhythm of rain, and only there was the sound of rain outside. There was only rain water, and what kind of the steady drip of water on leaves, and directly water was falling on the leaves, on lemons, on roof, drumming on drenched dahlias, and the rains drops were falling on the lemon leaves, on roofs. These were drumming, they were playing drum, and the drenched dahlias leaves, it was falling, and window panes. These drops of rains were falling on window panes also, while the mist holds the house in a dark curses. Means directly the mist had whole house in the in its own custody, means touching or holding lovingly. Means every part of the house, every surroundings were covered with the mist. As I pause near a window, the rain stops and starts again. And author is telling when he stood near the window, he found that sometimes rain stops and again starts dropping here. So what is, and the trees no longer green but grey menace me with their loneliness. Menace means threaten. And he found that the trees were no longer green, but they looks gray. They looks gray because of the mist, and these trees were threatening due to the loneliness of the author. Author was alone, that is why he was experiencing that these trees were also threatening to him. Now I'm taking here March 23. What kind of the atmosphere frame on March 23 in front of the narrator? So you have to take late March, end of winter. Means late March and the winter ending. The blackest clouds I have ever seen escorted over Missouri, and he had ever seen such a blackest cloud on the Missouri atmosphere, and then it held marbles for half an hour. And very soon author found that those black clouds held marbles, white marbles, for half an hour on in the Missouri's mountains. Nothing like a hailstorms to clear the sky, or after just hailstorms, sky became clear. Even as I write, I see a rainbow forming. And the time when he was writing this diary, he had seen a rainbow in the sky. Okay, students, we have studied this one. Explanation was there. Now we will study these comprehension question answers in next lecture. Till then, we have to go through this paragraph so that you can be able to understand. We will meet you in next lecture. Till then, goodbye.